Let's work on our language arts page 252 and 254. The page in between 253 is a page we will not complete. So these are just the last two pages from the packet. Page 252 is called My Book Report. A report is when you do writing about information. Actually, your CFAIR projects were actually reports because you learned information and you needed to write down what you learned. A book report then is writing down information about a book or a story. Here it says write a book report about two greedy bears. Well, we've already read our story, Two Greedy Bears, so now we're going to take information about the story and write it all on this page here. The first thing we need to write down for a book report is the title, the name of the story. They actually have it written right here, so you're going to copy Two Greedy Bears right here onto these lines. It's important to notice for the title that each word gets a capital letter. So make sure when you write Two Greedy Bears, all of those words have capital letters. The next part asks for the author. Who is the author? The person who wrote this story. Well, I have the textbook right here to help us out because it says Two Greedy Bears adapted from a Hungarian folktale. Adapted means it comes from a Hungarian folktale. So the original story is one of those folktales that's passed down from generation to generation. So maybe it gets changed just slightly each time it gets told. But then the author here who wrote it for this book is by Mira Ginsburg. So we're going to write her name right here. Again, since this is her special name, she needs to have capital letters. Okay, now we need to answer some questions about our story, and it says, what is the book about? And another question, what did you like about the book? Let's think about this one here. What is the book about? Meaning a summary. If we could try and write that whole story in just one sentence, what is one of those most important lessons that we learn through this story? Think about that for yourself. You might have your own sample sentence and you can write that down here. But if I think about what this book is about, it's about two greedy bears who learn a lesson that fighting is not great problem solving. So I'm going to write down that this lesson actually is about using better problem solving skills, right? Jealousy and greed does not get them the kind of solution they were looking for. Remember, the sly fox ended up eating most of that cheese that they were fighting and arguing about. So I think one really great lesson is that two greedy bears learn that fighting and being greedy is not a great solution for them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down on my lines here. My sentence is, two greedy bears argue and learn about problem solving. In the end, I think they both realized that the way they were trying to solve a problem was not the best solution. And instead of being so greedy and only thinking about themselves, it would just be better to work on having more pleasant and positive problem solving skills from the start. Let's take a look at our last question. What did you like about the book? Now, this can be different for each one of you, depending on what you liked about the story. If it would help you, you can get your book out and turn through some of those pages and find a page that maybe had a moment that you really enjoyed. For me personally, I think I liked the part of the story where the sly fox ends up teaching the greedy bears a lesson, right? I'm not exactly proud of how the sly fox got about solving this problem, but I think it did help the two bears realize that they were getting a little bit jealous, and that's not the right way to solve their problem. So I did like the part that the sly fox, another character, helped the bears to realize that they should make some better choices. My sample sentence is, the sly fox helped the bears learn to make better choices. When you're finished with this page, we're going to move on and complete 254. Page 254 is called Writing Clear Sentences. Make sentences. Write each group of words in the correct order. Add a period at the end of the sentence. Here we have words, but they're not in the right order. They're all scrambled up. So we need to put them in the correct order and add a period at the end. Here's number 1. Park, to, we, the, went. What word should go first in this sentence? There's actually a big clue. We know sentences should start with a capital. So right away we know the word we should be at the start. I'm going to check it off to make sure that I know I've used all the words. We, that tells us who. Now we need to think about what do we do. We park, to, the, went. What did we do? We went. Let's check that off. We went. We went, park, to, the. We went to the park. And add a period at the end. Number 2. I make helped dinner. What belongs first? Sentences need to tell us who. I, that tells us who. What did I do? I make helped dinner. This is a little tricky, but I think the best option that would go here is helped. I helped. I helped make what? I helped make dinner. And add a period at the end. Number 3, new, she, shoes, got. Which word goes first? Remember to look for a big clue. Look for the capital. She. That tells us who. What did she do? She, new, shoes, got. She got. What did she get? She got new. She got new shoes. And also remember to add a period at the end. Great work.